You are listening to Personal Development Mastery, the podcast that empowers you with the simple and consistent actions you need to master yourself and create a life of purpose and fulfillment. I'm your host, Agi Keramidas, and this is another Snippets of Wisdom episode, where I select my favorite, most insightful moments from previous episodes. Today's snippet comes from my conversation with Victoria Rader, a possibility coach, multiple times best-selling author and holder of a PhD in metaphysical studies. The snippet I chose from that conversation is about a healing paradigm for your imagination and self-worth. I hope it's as insightful for you as it was for me.
What we've described are the practical steps for bringing into awareness the first mental faculty. So what is that? For years I've taught on mindset, and usually it is growth mindset, blah, 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 blah. And so finally I said, okay, girls, sit down. What is mindset? I mean, it's good that you're teaching on it. What is mindset? And it became very clear to me that mindset is not something that is set. Yes, it is growing, but it is a set of something. Mindset, set of something. And that's when the bridge was created to, I remembered Bob Proctor teaching me on 6 mental faculties. And that spark came on immediately, and I said, oh, wait a minute. Mindset is a set of 6 mental faculties. Those 6 mental faculties, if they're harmonized, will create a sacred life of miracles. If they're in agony, competition, or lack of cooperation, they create the life of scarcity. It's still a mindset for manifesting, but if they're aligned and they're working to support each other, we have miracles. If they're misaligned, we have misery. So we create everything through either a part of us that is scared, the scared me, or the part of us that is sacred, right? The sacred me, little m, big E. You know, I'm so very big on that little matter energy thing. Okay, so let's look at that from that perspective. First of all, what are the 6? We talked about perception and we talked about imagination. So those are the first 2. I'll name them and then I'll go back to the depths of your question. Perception, imagination, intuition, reason, memory, and will are the 6 mental faculties. So in this picture, what we've started describing in depth was the perception. You perceive what you want. You perceive how you see reality. You want to shift to perceiving the life for the miracle that it already is. Why? Because perception is allowing things in, and it creates receptors for allowing things in, so that imagination can send out. You cannot out-imagine perception. You can only feel and imagine what you already perceive. It is the biology of your energy, of your mind, of your brain, of the chemicals. So we first perceive to receive so that we can imagine to send it out. So we've all heard dream big dreams. You can think big dreams, but to feel them, those dreams have to support your self-image. The word imagination comes from your self-image. Your self-image is the expression of your connection to your infinite self-worth. It's a tender, gorgeous realization. As you understand who you infinitely are, and by the way, perception of what's the most important outcome was guiding you to get to know who that sacred self is. As you get to truly lean into who you are, then you step into that being, and then you can imagine from a place of your own worthiness. You can imagine a life that is worthy of you. The word worthiness came in twice. It's been coming in, and so it's very important that I point that out right now. There's so many of us globally that secretly are afraid we're unworthy of a beautiful life. We've been programmed that our mistakes, misdeeds, our low energy has made us unworthy. Now, we might not say it out loud, but deep inside of us, there is the wound of unworthiness, I call it. So the self-worth frees your imagination by a very simple adjustment. Instead of thinking of mistakes you've made and will still yet make, because we're human, as something that makes you unworthy, I want to invite all of us to be reminded that they're unworthy of us. So as you think of something that is below your infinite worth, you say, what a reminder of who I am as a divine being, as a sacred me. This was unworthy of me. I will do better. This is the most healing paradigm for your imagination because it heals and restores your self-worth. And when you spend just one day, A, perceiving the unworthy actions of who you are, B, releasing them with gratitude so that your sacred self expands, C, you become more of who you truly are, and then you say, I truly can imagine a life that is deserving of me because I remember who I am. And when I say the word remember so many times, remember, we said the word memory. Memory was the third faculty. The purpose for memory is very onefold, to help us remember who we already are and who we are to become. Because the word remember is to become a member again. Remember. We become a member of the divine oneness. That's all we are.
Thank you for tuning in. You can listen to the full conversation in episode 288. The link is in the show notes. If you've enjoyed this episode, can you find one person you think would find it of value and share it with them? I'd really appreciate it. It helps the show grow and you are also adding value to people you care about. Thanks. And until next time, stand out, don't fit in,